saying we have like we were seeing database statements. In the database statements, we have started looking into DML, so data manipulation language. So here, like we have used only insert operation. I have used only insert operation. So using insert, we can create a record into database. It can be a single record or it can be multiple records. Yesterday, like we created one method which will create only one record, and there is one more method we created, so it will create two records from that method. Even if you pass like another number of records, also records count, but even it will be creating only two records. That is how we design. But it is like long process. Every time we need to write like fields without for loop, so it is tough to handle that situations. So we have taken like the third method. In the third method, what we have done, let me just showcase that. Let me open that class. So try to create a test class for it. So same like class you can use, because I have used the same standard. Like you can open, see there is a option called open. You can see the classes, triggers, pages, okay, page component, objects also you can open. If you want to open any object, you can directly come here. You can open that object. You can find all API names, all fields, API names you can find, and you can select that also. That is a shortcut. I'll tell you that as well in SOQLs. So in the classes, yesterday we created one class. What's the class name? Yesterday I created insert ACC controller. Double click on it. So this is the class we created yesterday, and in this class, okay, I have one method which will create only one record using insert operation with a single record. Okay, single record insertion. You can use insert for a single record, and you can also use insert for multiple records using list. Only you have to use list if you want to create multiple records. So this is the second method. It will be creating two account records. One is this. I have added this to a list of accounts, and ACC1 also I have added to the list of accounts. Finally, I'm just inserting that using that list of accounts by writing insert operation. There is one more method, third method we have created. So in this third method, so we were just passing a count of records. Based on the count of records, it will be looping those many times, and it will create those records. First, it will add all this ACC, whatever the records, how many times it is being looped, it will go and it will add to this list. This ACC, which is object means record. So every time, if it is having 3 times, it is looping, 3 records will be in the ACC, and it will be added. Every time it will be added to this list. Finally, we will have 3 count. So if it is greater than 0, you have to write this liner every time. So because otherwise, like you will get null pointer exceptions if it is 0 or something. Okay, if it is blank. So if it is like, let's suppose if it is looping 3 times, you will have 3 account records, and you can insert those 3 account records, and finally you can send it back from this method as a list of account. So those we have seen yesterday, and what we have done, all these three methods we have called from a single method. So this is the fourth method, and this we have used to call from the anonymous window, and from there we have called this method passing some name, that name. Okay, so it is considered while creating so this account as a dynamic way. So likewise, we created number of records yesterday, almost like 14 or 15 records we created through Apex. Okay, so we executed multiple times, and if I want to check those accounts, whether like how many records I created today or yesterday, you can just write a SOQL. So SOQL, which is Salesforce Object Query Language, it fetches all the information. So you can just write the SOQL here, like in the query editor. So the query, like it will be starting with select and whatever the fields like you want to get, and create a date from account, because like we created account records yesterday, and where name like ACC, this is like symbol, which is something which will check so whether the account name which is starting with ACC or not. If you give 2% front and back, it will be checking everywhere like whether name contains ACC or not. So if you want to check at last whether ACC present or not, you have to write % first and then ACC. So then it will be checking at last. It should be ending with ACC. So the account name should be ending with ACC. Then it will be fetching only those records. Okay. So likewise, you can write multiple where classes. I'll be just writing here where created date equal to today. today I want to check like how many records which I created. So 0 records because we have just opened the org. We have not created any record today. But yesterday we created records. So you can just check yesterday how many records I created. Where created date equal to yesterday. So yesterday we created 14 records. These are all the names. These are all dynamic names which we passed from that class. Okay, from that class, from that methods. When I call that fourth method, it is executing first method, second method, and third method. So using that insert operation, whatever logic you will be writing, but okay, if you forget to write that insert operation, then it will not create data into database. It will add, okay, so all the values to the list. But finally, if you are not inserting it, so it will not commit to the database. That you need to remember. And while testing, don't write insert directly. First check, okay, so write system.debug. So before writing insert operation directly, so first check the DM, like here before insert, you just check like what is the size, okay, how many records like you are getting into this list by system.debug, and first check it if it is okay, like if it is coming whatever the records like you are expecting, if you are getting those records, then you are good to write insert operation. Okay, so directly don't write insert directly, or not only insert, any DML operation don't write directly. Okay, first check it. Okay, so are you getting the exact results like what you are expecting? Then only you write this. Okay, otherwise like what will happen? It will create like the unexpected data into the system, which is not required. Even if it is not required, it will generate those records. Okay, so mostly when you are testing, just comment it out. So just write system.debug here, and you just check. Okay, so whatever like you will be doing here, it will be doing the same stuff in the system.debug, right? Like you can just check it. So then you can create records into the system if it is fine. Okay. So today like what we will be seeing. Okay, so yesterday like we covered SOQL queries also. See, this is how we will be writing select ID and all the fields using comma in between from the object name. If it is a standard object, you don't need to mention _c. If it is a custom object, you have to mention _c. For custom fields also, you have to mention _c. So this is one example I have given. So it's like it is just querying some data from the database, and then we are just using that just to get the data like how many records like which got created. I want to do like this activity now quickly. I want to just write one class. Let me just remove all this stuff I don't require now. All these are queries yesterday like we have done, right? So let me remove all this. Okay, cool. So what I'll be doing now, I'll be creating a new Apex class. The Apex class name I'm just giving SOQL easy controller. So this is the class I have just created, public class SOQL easy okay, so controller, and in this controller I'll be just so querying all the account records, and I'll be just looping. Okay, so we have now 24 records, right? I think total records, how many records we have? 24, I guess, 24 or 25. Okay, only execute till this 27 records. Okay, so we have like total 27 records with different data, different IDs, names, like it can be same names or different names. So industry like same, active, like you can write multiple where clauses. Now my target is like so here like what I'm taking use case pull all the account records from DB and get all account names into a list, and then display that list using system.debug. So that is what I want to do. System.debug. Okay, system.debug I'll be using to display those list of records. Okay, so list of not records, list of string only. So because I need like only account names, I don't need all fields. first I need all fields from the object, and second, from that object I have to loop each object, and from that each object I have to fetch the name. Okay, here like in the previous scenarios, like what we have like only one box. In previous examples, so let's consider. Okay, so in previous examples we worked with one box of items. Okay, so one box of items, that means like for example, list of string. So it can be like groceries. Okay, so list of strings groceries. So in groceries, like if you have like one bag, what you will do, so from that bag you will, okay, so directly fetch using get operation, right? So you have a list of items, and from that list of items, if you want to get some item, what you will be doing, you will just write groceries dot get of 0 or get of 1 or get of 2. So using index number you can get whatever the value like you want from that list of item, right? But now what we will be doing, okay, so but now we are dealing with database, and we are also dealing with list of database. Okay, means list of object. Now we are dealing with list of object. Okay, list of object. So it's like something a list of S object, I could say list of S object. I could say accounts. Okay, but this as accounts, which is not a single entity. Okay, S object. Here like it is a string, so it is direct string, so I can fetch directly from the list of string. But even if I want to get it, I need to have like one for loop. From that for only I can get each value, right? So here S object is not single entity. Okay, it's not single entity, so it's already okay inbuilt, like it is already object, and it contains multiple data types. It's not a single entity, it contains multiple data types. So like we have string, we have like we can have integer, boolean, right? So we have like different fields. So each field which is kind of one data type, and different data types we have, and each data type, okay, if I want to fetch, I need to have one for loop. Okay, so the first for loop is like something to get, okay, so all the S objects from this list. Okay, so I need to have one for loop to get each object individually. Okay, individually, and then what we need to do, from that object again I have to pull like whatever the data we want, like whatever the field we want, and then we need to pull each field value from that object. Okay, so this is what we will be going to do it now. Okay, so individually. So you can just go through it, like what I want to say is like, okay, so you will understand it. So if I have like only list of string, directly I can loop it, I can write a one for loop, and I can just get using get function. Okay, so but here like it is a list of object, so this is one for loop I'll be just writing, and later, okay, so again I need to have like I don't need to write one more for loop, but I need to get each value individually from that object, so using a field name. Okay, so that we will be doing. So in this activity, like what we will be doing, first we need like list of S objects, means all the records which are in the database. So means like step 1. So first step 1, create a class with a method as return type of list of string, because I want like only account names, not accounts. I need like only account names. From all accounts I will fetch only account names. Okay, and maybe someone can ask, instead of like account names I need like unique account names. So there are like small difference, if you can find here. So there are like multiple accounts with the same name. See, ACC from Apex, like multiple times you can see the same name, so it is duplicated, right? If you use like list of string, finally it will be again duplicate value, like you will have 27 values. But if someone is asking, I need like unique account names, then you have to use set of string, so that you already know. Okay, so in the step 2, so in function in that method, so what we will be writing, so we will be querying, because like we need the data from the database. If I want to pull the data from database, I have to write a SOQL query, right? So write an SOQL query to fetch the records from where? From DB. From database, already we have 27 records. I need to fetch all those 27 records and store those into list of account. So because whatever the results like you will be getting, that is a list of account. Okay, so list of account as a return type you will be getting from SOQL. Yesterday we discussed from SOQL what is the return type. So the return type, it can be object or it can be list of object. So in our case it is a list of object because it is like multiple records we have, so it is a list of account you will get as a return type from the SOQL. Okay, we will write list of account and we will fetch using SOQL query, we will fetch all the records from the database. Okay, where we need to write, so you have to write an SOQL in that method. Okay, so in that method, write an SOQL query to fetch all the records. Okay, so then step 3, what you need to do, so in step 3, now you have all the accounts, but now what you need, right? What you need, like you need all account names, individual account names from each record. So from each record, if you want to get individual names, then first you have to loop all these accounts and then you have to get individual records as I mentioned in this line. Okay, so the same I'll be doing here. So loop using for each, you can use for or for each. Okay, so loop using all records using for each, and then add each account name to list of string. So list of string is what? Account names. Okay, so that you can return like later. Okay, so in step 4, what you will be doing, so write a return statement, to return the list of string, means to return the account names. I'm just writing directly account names as list. So this is what like we're gonna do it. Okay, so and later, so I'll be using this method and to modify some information in the database. I'll modify, okay, so these accounts, account name or like industry, something I'll be modifying. Okay, I'll do update operation and then we will see upset operation. Okay, so one by one. So let me go back. So you are getting right what I'm trying to do. So you just have a quick snap, like just see what I want to say, the step 1. If you have any questions, just let me know. You read it, the step 1. You are getting my voice, right? My voice is clear and network is good, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So go with step 1 and let me know if you have any questions. In step 1, we are just creating a class and we will be creating one method, and it should have like written type of list of string, because finally we don't need list of all accounts. We need list of only account names. But account names where we have, so account names we have so this is, let's suppose, okay, list of S objects. So S object, it can be any name, okay, account, contact, opportunity, or like your custom objects. So from here, okay, so this is like each individual object, means each individual record. So record 1, record 2, record 3, record 4, like this. Okay, so these are all the records. So this is like record 1, so this is record 2, like this. Okay, so record 3, record 4, 5 record 6. Okay, so but each record again will have like different fields, means different fields and its values. So field 1, field 2, field 3, right? First you need to pull like individual object, individual record in the for loop. Okay, so and then you can have like this. Okay, F1, this is field 1. Okay, so this is F2, F3, F4. Multiple fields like you can have. So don't say only 6 like you are writing. Okay, so it can be like 6, 7 or any field, any number of fields. Okay. See, now I have a list of S object, and each S object means each list of record, I could say list of records. Okay, and in this record, each record which is again having like field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. Now again I have to access. Let's suppose field 1 I'm taking as a name. So this I'm considering as name. Okay, so the first field. So mostly, okay, we will have like the standard field as name only. So I'm just considering the first field as name. Okay, so now if I want to access that name, what I need to do, first I have to access the rec1, record1, and then I have to access the record1.name. So record1.name. Okay, so first I need to access this record1, and then I have to put record1. I have to give like some variable name, rec, and then dot name. So if I want to access, like let's suppose, okay, this is email. So how can I access? Can anyone tell me? I need email field. Then how can I access the email field?
rec1.email.
Correct. Okay, rec1.email. Let's suppose I have a field like industry. I'm just roughly writing. Okay, so it can be any field name. Now tell me, so how you will access like industry?
So rec1.industry.
Okay, so before that, like what you need to do? So first you have to loop it first, right? Where is curly brace? Curly brace symbol is not there. Curly brace is not there. Okay, so now we got right. Like I need to write one for loop. I will just want to write like here. So this is a for loop. Let's suppose. Okay. So for loop I'll be just writing because I need to get. So this I have written complete. Okay, so as a for loop. So this list of item. Okay, so which is having till this like it is a for loop. Okay, so list of S object and for loop I started. So from here. So for loop I started from here. Okay, so and each record which is having record 1, record 2, record 3, record 4, and like let's suppose I have 6 records, and all these 6 records which will be in this for loop. And okay, if I want to access like individual record, like I can have like record 1 as a variable and record 1 dot name dot email dot industry. Same way, if you want to access, see from the record 2, if you want to access, so how you will be accessing email?
For each.
How you will access like email from the record 2?
rec.to email.
rec2 dot email, right? Okay. So that is correct, but for some reason, okay, so it is not correct. So let me just little change. Okay, so always like it will be same variable one, because we will be looping into but usually, just for your understanding, I have given REC 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, but usually it is always REC, a single variable name only. REC. But okay, so this is first record, and this is second record, third record, fourth record, fifth and sixth record. But each record which will have the same variable name only. So how you will be accessing now? REC1 dot email. Here, like second record, how you will access? Again, REC dot, and third record also REC dot, fourth record also REC dot, okay, fifth record also REC dot, and even like 100 records also, 100 record also REC dot. So let's suppose you have an email field, and here also if you want to access like REC, you will be using, okay, REC, which is something individual, like in the for loop, individual records, what I could say, like variable name, the variable name dot email, variable dot email, variable dot email, like that. Okay, so this is how the structure for the list of S objects. For the list of S object, and same way, like if you can take list of string, so what you will do, like you don't need, you will not have like any further classification in the list of string, right? It is just direct string only. So you will have a for loop for the list of string, and you will have like first string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string, sixth string. Already it is a data type of string only. So you don't need to again like write a dot combination or something. You don't need dot notification for the list of string. But for list of S objects, you need to have a dot notification, okay? Or dot you need to mention, right? So you got the point, right? Any confusion? Any doubt in this image?
No.
Okay. So that is what like we want to do. First, I want to create a class, and then in that there is a method, and it will return as a list of strings. Okay, but what is that name? Name I want to pass, or like if you want to pass email, you can pass, or industry you can pass. Like I'm taking name. Okay, so and then we will like I need to get the data from the database, right? So these are all already created data. Like suppose record 6, all these are already in the database. Now I have to pull so these data, like these data from the database. Then I have to just write like this. Okay, so list of S object, and get existing data. Okay, so if you are creating new set of data, it's a something different story. Now what I'm doing, I'm just getting existing data. So if you want to get existing data, you have to write SOQL query. So you have to mention SOQL query in these braces, okay, square braces. Select ID, ID, comma name, comma industry. I'm giving only like standard fields, industry. You can give like any number of fields, okay, by using comma comma from account. Let's suppose, okay, if I want to go with like account, but here like it should not be list of S object, it should be list of account, because the final return type from this select query, you will get a list of S object, okay, list of records. That's it. Okay, so now what will happen? So this SOQL query okay fetches all records from DB. So it fetches all the records from database, and it will store into this this variable. Okay, so this variable we will be using in this for loop. Okay, so this variable we will be using in the for loop. Okay, so in this for loop, So you have to write like for loop on queried records. Okay, so whatever like we have queried, so the queried records like nothing but get of this. Okay, so whatever object like you will be mentioning, so that object you have to mention here. Let me just remove this also. So it is something list of account. So finally we will have like whatever the records like you will be getting from this SOQL query, it will have like get existing data which will be in the list of account. Now you will be having a for loop, and this for loop, okay, so you will have, so we will be writing a for loop now here. So this for loop, for each item you will be mentioning, okay, so for each account, because it is a list, if it is list of string you will be writing string, right? So here like it is a list of account, you have to write list for each account. We can give like some variable name called ACC, and here like we have used REC, right? So I'm just using REC here, okay, REC, because like I have used everywhere REC, so I'm using REC and then colon and then the variable name get existing data. So this is the variable and this is the for loop, right? So from this for loop, like what will happen? So this is a for loop, and in this for loop we have individual record 1, REC1, REC2, REC3, REC4, all this stuff. If it is having like 6, it is the structure. If it is 27, so you will have like 27 boxes, and each box contains like all fields like, but here like you have ID, name, industry, you will have like only these 3 fields, field 1, field 2, field 3 only, because you have mentioned only ID, name, industry. If you need like more, you have to write all these here, all fields here, whatever fields like you want to check, you need to write all fields here only, because like you can have 20 fields but you are writing only 3 fields, it will display only 3 fields here. Now you got a structure. Now it will be like this, okay? So whatever the data like you will be getting from database, already it is there in a boxes, you are fetching all that, and okay, so you have like each record REC. Now you can easily fetch each record REC dot email or REC dot industry or REC dot name for each record. So that is how the structure works. Any confusion? So with this understanding, like you need to have like this kind of understanding, okay? So what's happening in the backend? Right. Now I'll be doing the same stuff in the class, okay? So now I have a class, I'll be just writing a method. So public, and I need like a return type. What's the return type? List of string, because I'll be passing all account names, and finally I'll be just returning from this function. So the function name I'm just mentioning get all ACC names. So I'm just writing proper name, get all ACC name, all accounts names I want to pass from this list of string. So that is why I'm just mentioning get all ACC names, okay? And here I'm not passing any variable. So let's see, we will pass variable later, but right now I'm not passing any input declarations. And then what I want, I need to get all account records to display, right? So first I need to get all the records. How I'll be getting? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me? So ACC list, account list, you can give any name, okay? So now, so you have to write select query. First you check, okay, so how many records you have. So just you have like 27 records. So you have 27 records, copy this query, select ID, name, industry, active, created date, and paste it here in this box. That's it. You just write, okay, so all these names. Let's suppose, okay, you don't know like what fields and what API names. You can have like two ways. Like one thing, you can go to object, go to edit object, like you can go to setup and check for the object manager, and there you can go to that object at account object. I have directly gone over there, and you can see all fields. All fields you can see, all API names you have to get. Only this line you have to use. This one, okay? All field names, API names you have to use. So this is one way. You just need to copy SLA double_C and you have to paste over there, okay? See, this is something you can do. Or like second option, you can go to file. Already I have showcased. You can go to open and you can go to objects. There is something called objects here. You can go to account object, okay? So see, this is the one. You can go to, okay, file, open and objects, and you can see object double_, like object, double click it. You can find all fields, okay, all API names with data types, all API names and data type. What you will do, just select one, select and use control, ID, name, type, use control, okay. Whatever like you want, parent ID or like billing city, billing country, like what fields like you want, just scroll down. Whenever like you're selecting, just tap like control. Phone I want, like, or phone I want. I don't want fax. I need account number. Yesterday like we created account number also. Industry we created. Annual revenue, number of employees I need. Like this, okay. So what fields like you want, you can just select. SLA active. These are sufficient. Once you selected all these, it will be selecting like this. I've selected these many fields and just click. There is a button called query. So if you query it, you can see there is a slight difference in the query editor. What happened? It is automatically given you, like you don't need to write any kind of like single line or mistake or something. You don't need to do any mistake, like you can't do it. So simply you just need to select all the fields. You have to come to file, open and then object, select the object what you want, okay, and then double click it. You can find all the API names. You just need to select by control, by pressing control each time for each field, and then you just need to click query. You will get all the fields. Now you just execute. You will find all the data, okay. So 27 records. You can write like where clauses and all later. So if you want like only specific records, okay, which are having SLA silver, so SLA I need like only silver, so then you can just mention like this. Where, already we have seen yesterday where clause, where you have to mention where SLA double_C the field name which is equal to silver, then you will get only silver records. Only 3 records we have. So likewise you can filter, okay, but right now I'm not filtering, I'm just getting all the 27 records. So copy this query and paste in our class. Where is our class? SOQL. This, paste it here. So you will find, see, a lot more fields now, but it will give like 27 records, okay. These 27 records which is stored in this ACC list. If you want to just check, how you can check, right? System.debug and just, okay, type write like ACC list size and ACC list. How you will get size from this list? You have to use size function, ACC list.size. Just save this, okay. I need to write return statement because it is throwing error here. It is having a return statement also, right? But for now, okay, so let me just go with void and let's see later return type. If you just execute this method, okay, if you execute this method, what will happen? So it will just pull all this ACC list and it will showcase only how many records like you have. So quickly just copy this class name, so class name SOQL, which is equal to new class name, default constructor, and then SOQL variable dot, what's the method name? Get all ACC names. This is the method name. There is no input parameters, and just execute highlighted. So now you can see the div, okay, and the logs. You can find the output. How many records like you got? 27 records, because yeah, there is no filter. You got all 27 records and it got stored into that list of account variable. It's stored all these 27 records, means all these boxes we have, all these boxes, 27 boxes we have in that list. So this is like first, let me just give the code here and exclude the class from anonymous. So this is the result like we got it. Okay, so the size like you got is 27 because we have 27 records. Okay, so when you just query like from the SOQL also, you just need to check all these like, okay, so this is kind of unit testing we call it as. So query editor also, like if you can see, you can find the same 27 records. If that is like something different, you can find like there 24, and here like if you find something different, means like there is some issue. So both are same. Okay, so this is how like you need to just unit testing. And now our goal is like not this. So our goal is something. We have to get all the list of account names. Okay, so for that, like what I need to do, I have to loop. So as like I have showcased here, so we will be looping now for each account. Loop all the account records, fetched. Okay, so before this, like what I told you like one step. Okay, so you always like you need to write a if condition. Okay, so what is that if condition? Every time when you are just looping or something, or when you are just doing any calculation, first check that size. Okay, so first check its size. If it is greater than 0, and if its size not equal to null, you just need to write these two steps always. So because if it is empty, like if you are just trying to pull that into a for loop, so it's like time waste only, right? Because there is no data, then why it should go to for loop and it should check. Okay, so first you need to check, okay, so whether like do we have like any data in it. If it is greater than 0, then only it should be coming into this for loop. Now, okay, so let's suppose we already know we have 27 records. Now I need to pass each record. So how will we have? So we will be using for each concept. So for each concept, okay, for each account, ACC, you can give like ACC or REC. So I'm just giving ACC, or like REC I'm just using. What's the list item? List name is this. For each account, some record name, okay, a variable name, and from this list. This list now it is already connected with the database. Now this list is already connected with database. It is querying all the data which is from the database. Now each data or each box we will be getting into this for loop. So this REC is nothing but each box. Now from this box, I want to see only names. Okay, so each account name I want to see. How I can see? Whatever the variable name. Can anyone tell me variable name? Variable is what here?
REC.
Correct. REC dot
name.
Correct. So REC dot name. That's it. Save this. Simple. I'm just writing a system.debug. We can use it like anywhere. If you know how to get it, you can use it anywhere, right? So now what I'll be doing, I'll be just going back and I'll just execute it one more time. Now let's see, are we getting all the names, all 27 names or not? We will get all 27 names line by line. See, before like execution, the size is like 4.29 KB. Now for this step, after writing a for loop, what's the size? 20.38. But without writing for loop, if you want to get all those, okay, so you cannot do it in the list of S objects, right? So now debug only, click debug only. See, now each line it will be printing each name. First we got like one system.debug. We are checking, okay, what is the size. Now it will be 27 lines. each line, it is just showcasing each ACC name, each ACC name, each ACC name, first record like ACC single REC Apex. See, the first record is ACC single REC Apex, second ACC from Apex, second ACC from Apex, third like ACC from Apex, and fourth like fifth like this. Okay, so these are in the same sequence. Whatever the list, like list of records we have here, so it will be in the same sequence. Means it will be in the ascending order. Means like latest record which will be on the first list. Okay, latest will be on the top. So the same sequence it follows. So it is having the same sequence. Okay, you can just sort it out like you're writing by sort. Like let's suppose someone asked like sort the accounts and then process it. Then what you can do, you have to first get all the list. Now you already got the list. This is the list. First, before this, like what you will be doing, first you have to sort it. So what you will be writing, so SEC dot sort. So let's suppose, okay, if someone asked to sort that, and then you have to loop it. So then you have to just use sort function. Like, so that depends on the requirement. Like, okay, so how they are expecting. So we need to write. Now simple, it is simple. We got this for these boxes information. Okay. So first name, like I got, first record name I got, second record name I got, third record name I got. Let's suppose I need like industry. Can anyone tell me? I want to just print industry. So the same story, right? I want to just print industry. Can anyone tell me how we will do? Tell me. You are getting my voice, right?
REC dot
Yes, sir.
industry.
Yeah, sir, correct. REC dot industry, correct.
No.
Simple. It is same. Sorry,
Okay. Okay.
you are saying no. Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any doubt?
No.
It is correct only. So REC, which is a reference, which is referring to the account.
Show all records. Okay.
Individual account. So you can see this box, then you can understand. Now see REC dot industry, and second record also the field one you can say name and some field names, and again fourth is like email, and fifth is like some field, and sixth is like industry. Let's suppose everywhere like sixth field is like industry only. Whether it is a sixth field or fourth field or fifth field, we will not check. Okay, so in this box the index number we will not check. We will directly
specific industry. That was
we will directly use API name. That's it. It can be first or second or third, anywhere. We will just use API name. That's it. REC dot. Same way what we have used name, the same way we will be using other fields also. So REC dot industry. That means for every account you will be getting each account industry, right? I'm just saving this. Now every time, okay, so first time for first record it will be displaying the name and industry, and for the second record again it will be just displaying name and industry. Now you will have 54 debugs, like 54 outputs you will be finding from this query, right? When you execute it, you will find total 55 along with the first size also. Now the size little increase to 25.31 KB. So the first one is like 27, it is for size, and second for the first record, it will be showcasing the name and industry, and second record name and industry, third record name and industry, fourth record name and industry. See, likewise you can have like 54 results. So it's going like down, but usually we'll have like max 54. Somewhere like you can find industry is blank, null, so there is no industry for few records. Okay, for few records like you can find energies, okay, education, hospitality, consulting, apparel, energy, biotechnology, telecom. So these telecom all records we created yesterday, like 14 records, right? So the remaining all, okay, so which were already present, the old records, it is just showcasing to us. So likewise you can just fetch the data from the database like this. Okay, so these are the basic steps. So if you are not writing these steps, you cannot find or you cannot get anything from the database, first thing. Okay, so this is like basic stuff. what you have to write. These are like basic steps like you need to follow if you want to get the data from database, and then you have to use that individual entity. Then you have to follow these steps. Okay, this is step one, or like first this is the step one. You have to write in a function. You can write only in function. Okay, you can write only select queries in functions only. You cannot write outside. So that is why this is the first step one. You have to write a function, and the step two you have to write like list of the object, and then you have to write a select query in these braces. And then once you got the list of all the records, you have to check whether it is greater than 0, and then you have to loop it. So this is also like common step. So now what you will be doing, so quickly tell me, I want to write one method to get all contacts from the database. So quickly tell me. I'll be writing. Okay, so what's the method syntax? I'm writing void. So I'm just giving like name, get all contacts, get or pull or like whatever. Okay. So now tell me how you will be writing. So this is important. Okay. So list of, instead of like account, what you will be writing? The object name. What's the object name? Contact. Cons. You can give like any name. Cons list. Simple. Now you need to get like, okay, so all contacts. Go to open and go to object, search for con. You can find contact, double click it, and you just take ID and just select control, last name, name, mailing city I don't want, like phone I don't want, mobile number, email I want, department I want, birth date, maybe I need birth date, and created date I need, when it is created, level, language, individual ID, that's it. Okay, I'm just querying only this. See, copy, and you can just execute it. You can also see like how many records, 20 records we have. So now I will be getting 20 records. I'll be getting 20 records here. Okay, so I'll be getting all 20 records, and those 20 records which will be stored into cons list. So the next steps, all steps are common. So you need to learn how to do it, and next you need to learn how to copy it. So what I'm changing? Wherever okay, account list is there, I'm just okay modifying that to con list, and wherever okay, so account I can see there, I'm just changing contact. So REC, this can be the same name, okay, but here see, this is, see, my job is done. Simple.
There is no industry.
Yeah, only the step like you need to do is like fields you need to check. Okay, so here like we don't have industry, but we have name, but we don't have industry. I want to check only emails. Then you have to just change each instead of ACC, it should be cons. Each con email. Here like each contact name. That's it. Save it. See what we have done. Same, copy paste. Now query this. Sorry, now call this method also, second method, from the variable dot this method, and execute this. Now you can find different logs. Okay, so the size also increased 41.86 KB. Now, so the first is like a account related, and later it is going to contact. Say the contact list is 20, and now you can see contact names. Name is like Rose, and it's okay. So his or her email, and Saint Forbes, Jack, like something. Okay, it's not Telugu names. Josh Davis, like all this, see, which are already created by Salesforce only. So it is given all US names. Okay, right. So these are all we got, right? So that is how like you can just quickly get, okay, and so you just need to know how to do it, and then you have to know how to copy paste. So now I'm just giving this code with you. You can just execute this. Okay, so the result, like you can see, you can check results, or let me just give that as well. So one is like 27 records, and the second is like 20. What is 20 records? So we cannot find contacts. Okay, so there is like on the down, like you can find contacts information also. Right, but our goal is like not that. So our goal is like, so I have to get, so I have to get like for each account. So I need to get the ACC name, account name. Now I got like rec.name is nothing but account name. So when I get like each account name, so what I want to do, I want to store this into a list of string. Okay, so now I'll need one list of string where I'll be writing the list of string. So the list of string I'll be writing here, and I can give name like ACC names list or something. So list we will be writing with a new, right? So you have to mention like new also, otherwise like it will be throwing error, null pointer exception, list of string. So now I'll be just adding a value to list of string. That's it. How we will be adding a value to the list using add function. This is the list which is outside of the for. It should be outside of the for, because I need to get all the accounts. First I need to access all the boxes. From each box with a variable name, I have to get either industry or names, and then okay, so I have to add to a list. It should be outside. If it is inside, then what will happen? Again, first time it will be coming and it will be adding, and second time it will be forgetting it, and second time it will add the second one, third time it will add the third one, and finally it will be forgetting. Finally you will have like only one value. So it should be outside, so that every time it will be adding a new value, it will be added to the list. It is a public list, hence it is globally defined within this method only. It is also local, but still it is a global for this method. Okay, so now I have added this like rec. That's it. Oh sorry, rec, it will throw error because whatever the value like you are adding, it is object reference. Okay, and rec means object reference, but you are adding this list is a type of string, so you have to add rec dot, how can I get the name, rec dot name. That's it. Okay, so that's it. It is done. So now you can just, after for loop and out of this if condition, you can just write system.debug. So because final value you will have in this ACC name list, you have to write outside system.debug, and you can just check ACC names list data. Okay, so you will find all these like 27 names you can find here, and once you got that, so you have to return it. So return ACC names list, but it is like void type. Let me change that to list of string. See, I have a function. Previously it is void type. Now it is a return type of list of string. Each list of string, which is a type of objects, like means each records name. Same way, if I ask you to do like to capture all the industries, okay, so from all accounts, can you do it? Okay, or like let me do in a different way. I have another object, right? So in this object I want to capture all email IDs, but email IDs like always unique, right? So I need like unique email IDs. Final goal. Okay, so from this like from this function, I don't need get all contacts. I need like get contacts unique email IDs. Okay, get unique. See, whatever like you will be passing from this method, you have to write that name. Okay, don't write like in between name. So this is in between name. Previously I need that, but now I know I don't need that. I need like something get unique contact email IDs. Okay, now now my functionality has been changed, means my requirement has been changed. Now I've changed the name also. get unique contact email IDs. This is the function name. So by saying this function name, I can understand, okay, I don't need all contacts. I need only contacts which has the unique email IDs. Okay. So the email IDs, like I'll be needing, okay, get unique contact email IDs. So for that, like what I'll be doing, I need set of ID. You can use ID or like you can use string also, that is fine. Set of string. So set of string, which is I can give like unique email IDs. You can give one name and it should have like new and it should be the same set of string. So now unique email IDs I got as a set of string. Now I need to pass, instead of like name, I need to pass a value like this. Okay, so add. So email IDs dot add. So and then rec dot email. Copy this and paste it here. REC, which is each record. Each record is what? Contact record. From that each contact record I'm fetching email and I'm just storing that to email IDs of set type. Okay, it is a set type. So set, what it will do, it will have like only unique entities, right? Like unique entries. Finally you can find only unique entries. So if you want to just check that, and you can just write system.debug at line number 32 and you can just print that. Sorry. So output of data. Okay, so unique email IDs you will be getting. So if it is like all unique IDs, like all contacts, 20 contacts, if it is having like unique IDs, then it will be 20, size will be 20. If it is less, it will be less. But finally, okay, I want to just get all those unique contact emailers, whatever I got, I'll be just returning from this method. So how I'll be returning? So I have to mention return unique email IDs. Let's suppose if I want to return all contacts, then what do I need to do? I have to just mention this cons list. So then it should be like list of contact here. But now here I'm just passing like only set of string. So then I have to just write this here. It will throw error. So return statement, like for void we cannot write a return statement, right? So this is the return statement I have written. I'm saving it. It's successfully saved. There is no errors. Now you can change the name of this also. Get all ACC. Yeah, this is fine. Get all ACC names, all account names. Finally, we are getting from this function, and I'm just passing that as a list of string. So any questions, guys? Like it's cool, right? So previously, like what we have done, we know how to write a class and how to write a method, but now we know how to capture data from the database and how we can use that in the function, right? How we can get it and how we can add a value. Okay, so a value from an individual record, and we can set that to a different variable. Any questions on this? Ask some questions. Any question? Can I ask one question? If you don't have any question. Let's suppose I'm just trying to access name, but that name I have not given here. What will happen?
Not completely, not showing.
Okay, I'm just trying to save it. First, okay, my question is, will it save? It is saved. So yeah, you're not querying that field, but okay, so you're trying to access that field and you are just using that field also in some list. Now it is, I'm able to save it, okay? Now I'm just trying to execute it. So try to execute. No, sorry, methods we changed, right? Method names. So this not changed. The second method we changed. Copy, paste. What it is saying? So this is a kind of error if you don't have a specific field. Okay, subject row was retrieved by SOQL without querying the requested field. What's the field? Account.name.
Name.
So you are trying to use account.name, but that account.name you have not queried from the database. Means field is there, you can use it, it can be saved, but while execution it will throw error stating that okay, so you don't have that name, you have not queried it. If you get this kind of error, subject row was retrieved by SOQL without querying the requested field, means you need to understand. See, this is like kind of exception also you can give. Okay, so system.subject exception. You can use like in the catch block you can write a subject exception, and you can write like a variable.get message. So account.name, it is throwing an error. So when you are just querying anything, you need to if you are using any field in the query, so you have to query all the fields. Okay, query all fields, not all fields, query the specific fields. Salesforce also tell okay, so don't query all fields. Okay, query only specific fields which you want to utilize. Query the specific fields from SOQL which are required for the functionality. Okay, so if you are using it but you are not querying it, so then in that case it will throw error. Okay, so where you got this error, so here you are using it in this function. Okay, so this rec.name you are using, but okay, so this name is not present here, this field is not available. Okay, so you have to give that field. So if that field is not available, it will just throw one error exception. At the runtime only you will get this error. When you get runtime errors, you can handle through try and catch. Okay, so this example, yeah, this is what like we want. Okay, so I need to have the name also. What is the solution for it? You have to add field at that name. Okay, so add that field to this query and then you can save it. So what's the solution? Solution is like you need to have the name wherever, like if you are not using, that is fine. Okay, so the ID you have not used, type you have not used, phone you have not used, even if you remove it also, that is fine. But whatever the field like you are using, you have to give that. Okay, so the solution for it is like that. You have to add that field in the SOQL. Not add, query that specific field in SOQL. Okay, so let me give this code to you. So now you got right. Okay, so this is an example. To fetch and store the each object fields data into another list or set. Okay, list or set. Okay, so to check the result, execute the code. Right. So from here, like now, what I'll be doing, okay, so I'll be just using some update function. So I'm just creating a new class. So here, like I'm just using a DML operation. So in this DML operation, I'll be going with update ACC records. like not only resist record, like you can do anything. I'm just going with one object. So I'm just creating one. Okay, so the next stuff. Okay, so we will be using like use case update the account records. So let me just quickly see any account record data. Okay, so what I want to do now, like, okay, so ACC from Apex is there, right? So there is a ACC from Apex. Copy. So records which have name of ACC from Apex, those account number, should always be ACC 123 123. Okay, so it should not allow something. Okay, somewhere like I can see ACC 123 124 125 like, but name are same, but account numbers are different. So there is like mismatch in the uniqueness. I want to cover that uniqueness. Okay, so this is just one use case. Let's suppose. Okay, usually like you will have this kind of use cases. Okay, so based on name like or based on some criteria, we have to modify another kind of fields. Okay, it should be kind of uniqueness. So we will be maintaining uniqueness. Okay, so different steps like we'll be following. First we need class. Okay, so the steps like we will be following. So first we will create a class, and then we will create a method. Okay, so with return type, so and then in that method query records, so with filtered criteria. Okay, so with filtered data, so we don't need all data now. We need like only where account name equal to ACC from Apex. We don't need all, we need only this ACC from Apex. And this method also, what I'll be doing in this method, I'll pass, okay, so the name as a parameter. Okay, so method with input param. So sorry, I got power, last power. 1 second, guys. Slow the So here like method with input param, I will be just passing as string input param, param as like ACC name. Okay, so I'll be just passing one param as ACC name as string, and whatever the name like I'll be passing, that name it will be considered, but for now I'll be just using this ACC from Apex only, and then it queries only the filtered data, and it updates the account number through loop. Okay, so we need to have a loop, and in that loop I'll be updating. Okay, loop, and finally what we need to do, we have to write update DML operation on the list. Okay, so the final list we will have, that list we have to write update DML operation. Okay, so these are the steps like we will be following now. Just see quickly. So these are the steps like we will be following. First create class and method, and with a param, string param, and then we will write SOQL query in the method, and then we will update account number based on the ACC name using loop, and then finally we will use DML operation of update. You got it right? So I'll be doing quickly now. Okay, so let's see DML update ACC record. Okay, so what's the function name? And finally, once it is updated, I want to send all the IDs. Okay, so whatever IDs like I updated, so I want to send all those IDs. Okay, set of IDs. So as a return type. For now, let me go with void, and then we will see set of IDs later. And okay, so here like it is not a get. Here like what we are doing, update ACC nums based on name. So based on a name, I am updating ACC numbers, account numbers. So this is the function name I have declared, and in this function I'll be just passing one parameter. So the parameter name is ACC name. So whatever the account name which will be passing from outside, so that will be considering that account name. Okay, in our case I'll be just using only one account name. So later maybe it can be different account name. It will be working as a dynamic mode. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to like tell that query, SOQL query. So that SOQL query is like we will be using, we will be using like something column. Okay, so we have to use column here if you are using any kind of variables. Okay, if you pass any variable, you have to use like this. See like this, where usually we will write where name equal to some name, but if it is variable, then you have to write equal to and then colon and then variable name. So this is the structure if it is a variable. If it is direct string, you have to use like where name equal to single quote dev. But if you are passing that value to a variable, then you have to use in SOQL like this. Okay, select name from position or like any object where the field equal to, you have to mention colon and then variable name. So this is a we have to use. So I'll be using this syntax now. Okay, so in this ACC name, first what I need like list of all records where I want to update. I want to update all accounts. So okay, I got power. 1 second. Alright, so list of account, I'll be getting ACC, or like you can write like this, existing ACC records. Okay, how I can get? Using select query, I can just fetch all those, select ID, comma name, comma industry. But industry, like in this case, we don't need it. So, but if you need it, like you can use it. But right now, industry is not required. We need account number. So account number API name you need to check. I'm not sure whether it is the same API name or different. Let's see. If it is a different, it will throw error from account. But here, if you stop here, like what will happen? It will give all the accounts in the database. But now what we need specific accounts. So whose name equal to, you can directly mention where equal to name. What's the name? We want to check. What's that name? This name. Okay, ACC from Apex. Like this you can use, but okay, so what I'm saying, I don't want to use this kind because like it is a hard-coded one. So I don't want to use hard-coded. So I want to use like the variable. Okay, so whoever like passing whatever the value which is passed to this function as a value, that value I want to capture. So where name equal to this variable. Okay, but when you are using variable in SOQL, you have to use this column. Okay, before this variable, you have to use column, so that Salesforce understands. Okay, yeah, you are referring a variable, otherwise it will throw error. Okay, so this is a reference to the variable where name equal to this ACC name. So whatever the name like which is passed from outside, that will be captured here, and it will be checking those accounts. If the accounts are present, then it will be processing it. If accounts are not present, then it will not process. That is why I'm always saying, so just see how many records you are getting. Okay, so before processing, just write a debug, system.debug, sorry, system.debug size, you just see the size plus dot size. So the existing account records dot size. Now, so you need to also mention this this line I told, right? Every time you need to check the size. So if size greater than 0 and dot size not equal to none. So these are the basic steps. Okay, so these are like common steps. So you need to get data from the database, but this is additional step like you are now learning is you are getting, okay, so variable name. Okay, so variable, it's not static, it is dynamic. Perfect. Okay, now you got, let's suppose you got account records. We have seen, right, like how many 3 records you will get, I guess we have already seen that. Okay. How many records we can, okay, let me check how many records we can have. But here, like, okay, in query editor you cannot pass variable names because there is no function to pass variable names, so you have to write like manually only. Okay, so what's the name? ACC from apex copy, and in single quote you just paste. Now how many records? 6 records we have, okay, in the system, and different numbers we have, account numbers. It will be modified after some time. Okay, once our code is executed, it will be modified. Okay, so now I got like, okay, I got like 6 records here because with the same name I have 6 records, and even, okay, so if it is like 6, maybe later someone can delete it, so better you write this always. So if that is there, then it will be coming inside, and we will need to write a loop. Now we have to loop each record. So how we will write? The same steps. See, I have not modified anything, the same steps I'm using. Sorry, this is the variable list of items. So this list of account, for each account, now what do you want to do? So you just need to write like only one thing. You just now, okay, so you got like all boxes like this. Each box you got, from this each box, like if you want to get like what field we want to update, we want to update account number. So you just need to mention rec dot account number, in our case acc dot account number. So acc dot account number you want to modify. Simple. You got like first record, and first record you will be going and you will be accessing rec dot account number equal to, means left side value you have to put. Previously, like in the previous example, what you have done, you have given at right side, okay, because you are adding it. But now what you will be doing, you will be adding that as a left side. Update each acc account number. So the next step we need to do is like account number field we need to update, okay, field value. For each acc dot we will have account number, so this is a field, and we want to update that account number. So with, so what's the account number we want to update? ACC 123123. See, I got like all account records and existing account records. For each account record, okay, I have ACC variable as a reference. This is ACC dot field. I want to update with ACC 123. So our job is done. So you have to come outside of this if, okay, and then already you are checking like if condition here. So if it is greater than, then it will be going, and so you can directly write update function update. Sorry, update this list. So Salesforce has given one additional option to us is you don't need to create another list. You can use the same list. For update functionality, Salesforce has given addition stuff for us is like, it is advantage, I could say. The advantage is you just need to write which fields like you want to update in this for loop, and when you come outside it will be looping up all the accounts, and with this criteria, if it is true, then it will be updating all those account numbers 6 times. It will be looping. Once it is done, it will come outside and it will execute line number 12 directly, and it will update, because if there is no DML operation, we cannot modify anything in the database, right? So this DML operation, DML to update the data in database. If you don't write, so if you write till this, you cannot do anything. Okay, means it will not update or it will not impact in the database. So once you write update operation, then only it will be impacting. Okay, so when you are writing update operation, you have to write this list of items. Okay, so this is a list of items, list of accounts you have to mention here. Okay, so but as a best practice, write this again, because like what will happen, let's suppose okay you have this, that is fine. If it is not executed directly, it will come here. If it is not executed, if there is no error, if there is no records, then it will directly come here and it will check okay 0 records, and it will try to update the 0 records. It will throw null pointer exception again. So better what you need to do, you have to write if condition here also. If existing ACC records dot size greater than 0, then only you try to update. Okay, otherwise you don't update it. Okay, so write a if condition one more time here. So if this is more than 1, then only it will be updated, otherwise it will not come to this if again. So this is what, okay, so you can do. And if you want to just check okay so whether it is getting updated or not, you can write like system.debug. So with account number, each ACC number. Okay, so this is like something after, like once it is updated, see once it is added, this is after value, ACC dot account number. The same way you can check before also. So before this line, so this is before updating, what is the value, account number, and after update, like what is the value, you can see in the system.debug, and then you can just modify that using same variable. You don't need to write additional variable. That's it, it will be updating. Okay, so once it is updated, so you can get like this as a list of account. As a return, like you can pass as a list of account, or you can pass like a list of IDs, or okay set of IDs. But if you want to pass like set of IDs, you have to write like one more set here. Okay, and you have to get all these set over there, and you need to have like return type. So the return will be existing ACC RES. So this is the return statement, because there is a return type here, list of account. So this list of account, we have existing ACC RECS. So here like what I'm doing, this is additional stuff like you have learned now, is like you are updating it. Okay, so previously you just checked okay so in the system.debug, and you have added to the list. Now you are directly updating the database. Okay, so you are updating database, but how I'll be knowing, so as a unit testing, whether it is updated or not. Okay, so first you have to take a screenshot, just refresh this grid before executing, you just take a screenshot of it. So this is before execution, all these 6 records which is having same apex stuff. Okay, see all these are having before data different reference numbers. Okay, sorry guys. So before records, okay, so which before updating, like this. Okay, we have 6 records with the same data, so with different okay so account numbers. Now what we will be doing, so we will be just executing this function, and it will be updating, it will be just updating account number with ACC 123 and finally it will reflect in the database, because we have written update function, right? So now let me go to debug first. Okay, let me copy this class name. So class name, I'm just giving like variable DML var, which is equal to new class name. Okay, so DML var dot the function name. What's the function name? Update numbers based on name. So based on name means I need to pass the name also, because it is having a string type and ACC name it is expecting. So what's the account name we want to check? This is the account name, right? So in a string, copy this ACC from Apex. Okay, paste it here. Now I'm just executing this code. So once you are executing, what it will do, it will check that function, what's the function it is written there, and it will be querying all the account records where whatever the name is like ACC name, whatever the past name, it will be just checking. It will have 6 records. It will be looping 6 times, and after looping, it will be just giving you in the logs system.debug before account number and after account number. Okay, 2 times. And 6 means like 12 results you can find over there, and finally it will be updating if it is more than 0, like more than 0, it will be updating. And later it will, whatever the records you got, it will be going from this function as an output. But we can use it or we cannot use, later we can see. But right now we are not using this function output. Okay, so every time like you need to write comments. Okay, so when you are writing any logic, you need to mention the comments. Okay, before writing that, like why we are writing this function. So what is the advantage, or why what is the logic, and what we are doing here, like everything you need to mention so that other people can easily understand. Okay, so I'm just trying to execute it now. So I have executed it, and let me just see the logs. Go to logs. Log is success. So the previous log, you can see the previous log. Okay, we got some error. It is stating like row whatever SOQL query, like we haven't used name in that, right? So at that time you got this error. Now click on the debug only. See, there are like total existing records is 6, because okay, so we also got 6 accounts with the same name, and this is the previous value, old value, and after value is this. Before value 1 to 4, after value is this. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Finally, we have like latest value. So what's the latest value? See here, like it is same only 1 2 3 1 2 3. You just need to query it one more time in the query editor. You just check the logic. Okay, so with ACC from Apex, and you can query one more time. Go to query editor, and you can see, or like you can just, if it is already there, you can just click something called refresh grid. So once you you clicked on refresh grid, see, all have been changed. All records, like 6 records. It can be 60 records, 100 records, 1000 records, 10,000 records. Also, it applies same logic. If someone asked you like, okay, so to update 10,000 records, so you can do the same stuff. Okay, you need to get that variable name, and you have to pass that to the SOQL query, and from there you have to get that into a for loop, and in the for loop each object you have to get, sorry, each record you have to get, and each record dot field, it can be single field or multiple fields also. Let's suppose if someone asked me to add the industry also, so industry also I want to change. Okay, so this ACC from Apex industry is something different. Okay, so it can be like something telecom. Oh no, it's already telecom. What are the other industries we have? Electronics. Okay, apparel. So I want to put apparel. So you can modify like from here also. You can just click save those, but it is like manually we are doing that. So I don't want manual stuff. I want to do from the automation, from the code itself. So what you can do, you can simply write one more line. That's it. So everything is same. Only you have to write the industry. Select industry. Industry equal to single quote apparel. That's it. Whatever industry like we have, it will be overriding with this apparel industry, and we have update function. So whatever, okay, so you are writing as a field, it will be updating that. Okay, so the latest value you will have apparel. What you need to do, you need to just execute it one more time. That's it. Now you can see the results. Okay, in this debug only. But okay, so we have not given any system.debug, so you cannot find that here, but you can find result here. Like when you are executing it, refresh this grid, you can see all our apparel now. See, same stuff. We need to know like, okay, so how we can reuse it multiple times. First you need to know like how it will be working, and second you need to apply that, so with multiple examples, with multiple fields. Only the thing, okay, so only you changed it, only the change you applied here only. So everything is same, the same steps. Okay, the same steps, like you need to get the data and you have to check, okay, so whether it is greater than 0, and then you have to write the for loop. Everything is same, only the difference you modified, only one line is changed, the entire functionality, right? So that is how it works. So this is about like how how to update using DML operations. So how we will be updating. Okay, so the records using DML operations update functionality. Okay, so this is example for update. Okay, so let me just give this code. Here I have added like, okay, so industry also, industry apparel. So this is like additional. I need to add in the description also. Account number and industry equal to apparel. So apparel is after executing. So this is a simple code and execute the code. So I'm passing only SEC from Apex. You can also have like one more variable, like you can. Hello. 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 Akan naman guys the class room. Yeah, you can also pass one more variable, like from the function itself, like the industry name, something string comma industry name, in the string of industry name, that you can pass as apparel here, and that will take that also. You can add like one more and condition as well, so that you can also try. And the final result you can see. So the final result you can see like this. You have to query like with the same query. Okay, so what we are using, so you can find. So it has been changed, and this apparel also has been changed. So now we have like the same unique data we have in the system. So now likewise it works for like 10,000 records also. Okay, so do you guys like have any questions on this? So try to write like test classes for this, so you will understand the flow, how it works. Okay, so you need to create some data, dummy data as accounts in the test class, and then you have to call this class name and method name with some parameter. Then it will be executing, and it will fetch the sample data, test data, and it will just process that, and it will update. And at last you can write in the test class as system.asset or asset equal. So with this ACC, for each ACC account number equal to this ACC 123, like that you need to check in the test class, so that it will cover 100%. Okay, so this okay, do you have any questions so far? And I'll take another 5 minutes so to cover like one simple topic. Is that okay, guys? Okay, so as we discussed, like see the variables, like you need to pass like this way in the SOQL queries, and whatever the output, okay, so as a return type, like from the SOQL, like you will get either list of S object. Right now we have used list of object. Sometimes, okay, you need to go with like only a single record also. If you have like if you put like limit 1, then it will be single record, right? So then you can use like the single S object type also. Okay, and integer, like you can also use. Let's suppose, okay, I have a query, and in this query I want to get like only the size. Okay, I don't want to get anything, only I want to get size. So then I can just mention like integer count of RECS, which is the same dot, at last I'll be just mentioning size. See, with this, like, okay, so whatever it will be in the list, the list dot size, it will print the output as a count of records. So if you just debug it, so it will have the same size here also. Okay, you can also just use this as a count function, but usually we will not write this way, but as a return type you can also use it, this kind of integer, and you can just sorry. Okay, fine. Okay, as an integer also you can use as a return type, or list of account also you can use, or a single object kind of also you can use. But okay, so you have to use this in the functions as an integer return type also you can use. Okay, so an aggregate result like also you can use, like it is a kind of like list of aggregate results of your data type, and there we have to just go with like some min max. Okay, so we have to just mention like count of id, so like select count of id from account. So you have to just use like few like these group by we have to mention. It's a kind of like reports we have built, right? In the report, like we have used rows and column based segregation, so that way like it works. Okay, so group by you can use, and these are all the like major, okay, so keywords we will be using in we can use like for multiple data. See, same way, name equal to some single like variable I have declared, right? So the same way, if you have like multiple data like list of items or something, if you have, then you have to use like name in and colon, and then so it should be like list of items. If it is just only a simple string like id or integer, then you have to use this format. If it is a list of integer like list of string, then you have to use in, name in. Okay, so you have to use, and like we have used and or we have used not is something simple instead of like in. Okay, so you can use like not in also. So not in means like, let's suppose I need data which is not a kind of like ACC Apex, like Apex ACC from something is there, right? So if you don't want that, so you can use like not in. It's a kind of not. I don't want those records. Remaining all records I want. So then in that case, I'll be using not. So order by so by default, okay, so by default like it will be in the ascending order, ASC we write off, order by ASC. So if you write like this, okay, order by, we have to mention like the field also, order by name, ascending order. So the name based, okay, it will be ascending now. So the name based, it will be ascending, but it is just checking the ACC. There is one check also. It is just based on this, and I think almost all same. Okay, so based on ID I'll be giving. Okay, so by ID it will be ascending now. Okay, so the same way like it can be descending also, descending order you can give. DESC you have to use for the descending order. So you have to use DESC, descending order. So it will be descending now. Okay. So you have to write order space by space the field name, which field like you want to go, or like order by created date also you can give. So let's suppose you have active and SLA I'm removing. I'm just writing created date. So based on created date also like you can segregate. So in the descending order or ascending order. So number of employees is not there. Phone is not there. I'm removing like picture not there. Okay. So this is the data we have. So it is like in the descending order of the accounts. Okay, so where like created date, it is descending order. Okay, so like you can go with like order by. And what's next? Limit we have seen, offset we have seen. For update, all rows means like it will be getting from the recycle bin also. You can just mention at last. You have to mention all space rows. Okay, it will give from the recycle bin also if you remove it. And then like we have seen, yeah, in we can use this way. Let's suppose I have two names. Okay, not single names, I have like two names. So where name in, okay, like this you can use in. So now in, okay, so you can just mention the first name is this, and lowercase. So one is this, where name single quotes, and the second is this. I want in single quotes this also. Okay, I also want to check the this name also, okay, with the same name. How many records we have? See, 3 records I want to just check. So 3 names, like not only single name like you have to mention equal to, but if you want to check like multiple names, then you have to use like this. Okay, so now you can see 10 records we have. So name, where name in, likewise you can go with account number also, where account number in single quotes ACC123, ACC124, like that you can find multiple records. So if you have like multiple, then you have to use this way, comma comma you have to use, and in the braces you have to use. So this is for in operation. Okay, using in. So but if you are using like in using variable, so it is something different story. Okay, so if you have like variable, but variable like you cannot fetch here as a in, there you have to just have like list of string, and after like list of string you have to mention like list item here. Okay, so list example or something. So this is how you have to write name in. First you have to write like list. First you have to create list, and that list variable you have to use here, list var. But usually it will not work here. So this will not work here, but it will work in Apex classes. Okay, this will not work in the query editor. This list var is something you can pass list of string. So list var, which is equal to new list of string or integer, like whatever. So you can add. In the previous example we have added this. You have to add in the list first. Okay, so that list you can use in list operation. In, okay, instead of like equal to, you have to use like in here. Okay, so in where name, so where name in list variable. Okay, so but this will not work in the anonymous like in the query editor. So variable cannot accept in the query editor, but this variable which will be working in the class. In class you have to use this way. Okay, same way, like let's suppose that I don't want this list of items, I want like different items, then you have to use like not in also. So in or not in you can use. So let's suppose, okay, here like we have used in combination, right? So the same if you want to use like not in, so you have to give like where name not space in. Now what will happen? So I'll accept these 3 accounts, it will fetch remaining accounts. See, previously like we got 10, now remaining 17 we got. Means I don't want this, I want to exclude this. Remaining accounts I want account names. So that is what we are trying to say. Okay, so this is like for not in. This is for not in example. So that is for in, this is for not in, and then so this is also in example. This below in example with variable using class. Okay, so not in query editor. Query editor, we cannot use this query because it will not accept the variables. Okay, so these are all the stuff like we have in the SOQL. Okay, so I thought to give like these examples also, but today we cannot do it. But I'll give an overview, so you can just try. So let's suppose I have an account. Now I want to get all contacts with each account connected to SOQL query. So I want related records. Okay, so below records. So now I'm in an account. Now I want to get all contacts for each account. For each account, how many contacts I have. So simple query. As a field, you have to use that. Okay. So as a field, so you have to call the child records. Okay. So where ID, name, account number, industry, these are all the fields of this account object, and we have to write one more comma, and we have to write this braces, and in this braces you have to write one more subquery. This we call it as subquery. Select ID, comma, we don't have name, so we have first name, last name, email, all fields, what fields you want, you can write all those fields. Okay, so from contact, so we will write one more subquery in the main query, so that for each account, under account, if you have relationship only, we can do it. Okay, if there is no relationship, we cannot do. Account and contact, we have a relationship. Account is a parent and contact is a child. So that is how I'm just mentioning contact as a field only. So select ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, email from contact, and okay, so this will not work. So because you have to mention instead of contact object, you have to mention child relationship name. So this is a child relationship name. You have to mention contacts. So then only it will be executing. You can see these are 27 accounts, but only few accounts having the contacts. See, these are blank. These accounts, the above accounts, we don't have any contacts, but only these accounts having contacts. See, ID, name, first name, last name, it is showing here. Okay, see the email is this. All the whatever fields you have given here, ID, first name, last name, email, it is showing all those. So if it is single, it will be showing single. If it is multiple, it is showing comma, comma, multiple records. Okay, so means for each account, you can get how many contacts we have. So this is contacts, not contact. It is multiple. It can have or it cannot have. It will showcase all those here. Okay, so this is something you need to give child relationship name here. This we call it as subqueries. This is main query and this is subquery. And you can find contacts info. And okay, so for this account, so we have these many contacts. Okay. So this is how we will write subqueries. You can apply for any standard object or custom objects. That's the same, but you need to have, this is very important. Okay, so the child relationship. This contacts here is child relationship now. Okay. So query is child relationship name. It's not API name. Okay, it's a child relationship name. So where you can find child relationship name? So you can find child relationship name. If you go to that account object, you can find something called so you have to go to contact object. So the child object, and there you can find a relationship called lookup, right? So lookup we have in the account contact object, you can find account lookup. So there you can see something called child relationship name. So that is the name we have to use for every object. You have to go to child object, and in that child object, it is connected to the parent as a field, right? Lookup field or master detail field. That field you need to open, and there, while creating a relationship, you have used while creating relationship lookup or master detail. So we have given a name, child relationship name, if you remember. So that child relationship name you have to use. So if you remember, so while creation, let's suppose if you are creating any from account, like you are trying to create any other, okay, you are connecting to another object. This is child, and you are creating, okay, some other field like lookup relationship with another object. Let's suppose, okay, so you are connecting to analytics asset, okay. So click next, and there it will ask name and all. At last it will ask you something called child relationship name. So means it is a child, accounts is a child to which analytics asset, okay. If this is a parent and this is a child, and if you go to that parent, what's the child name to the account is accounts. You have to use this name. You can give like accounts 23222, and you have to use this name only, accounts 222 in subqueries. Okay, so that is what like you need to use. Child relationship name you have to use. Any questions, guys? Like okay, so I know it is like little extending, but okay, so you have to go thoroughly. And okay, there is like small topic in the SOQL, and then we can finish SOQL, and we will see the DML operation with the upset operation also tomorrow. And with that, okay, so like examples, it is sufficient. Like we can go further like for the major topics. Okay, guys, I might take like maybe tomorrow another half an hour for SOQL queries, and then we will discuss like another half an hour for DML operations, around like 1 hour. And if you have like any questions, we can discuss that, and we can okay wrap up for that, and then we can start the advanced topics.